dim gombo jahorayang la shanza lo ganga lo zhu zhengni zhengzha nyanda nanda raza jinye donga zhezhen zhezhen nyeje dagara lawan ganda zhembe zara mare mando dengwa jeza ruzo ganla gaje darje yala zhezhe yanda Rudra Jedro Nyamo Nyamo Leje Jadro Dronza Aru Maza Dengara Nyaga Janye Jonza Raja Daja Zabji Dajo Yondo Lijo Dyaji Dago Jada Jada Jani Dyaji Dan Munzira Jawara Yala Dada Umara Bazanardo 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 Umara Bazana the Tidun Jijin Jero Waziraji Dolo Dama Mambaravzan Guadan Damjo Jean Le Daba Ludu Bumir Nava Gide Soro Nyoji Jimbo Tudun Nimi Jan Zone Molo Jimbo Nadia Pagara Darngon Zandu Jermedo Tumba Diji Jala Shanzalo.
Good morning, everyone. So this is the third day of our teaching together, and we are going to begin our morning session now. Please, everyone, before we do, make an aspiration of bodhicitta with which to listen to the teaching in the way that we have talked about on our previous days. Bodhicitta is really like the essence of the Mahayana teachings. And in fact, we can say that it's not just the essence of the Mahayana teachings, but it's like it's the soul or the life force of the teachings. And the reason that we say this is that without bodhicitta, without this motivation, then any dharma activity that we do take part in, whether it be meditation or recitation or whatever kind of activity it is, without this motivation of bodhicitta, then it doesn't correspond to the requirements of the Mahayana path. However, with a motivation of bodhicitta, then whatever activity or action it is that we do, it will become action in accord with the Mahayana path and action of an extremely vast and great significance. The benefits of bodhicitta are laid out in the first chapter of the way of Bodhisattva, and this would be something that would be very good if everyone would read.
kashi to tenim dor dipala lojong shikila teni gabu yore tena teni tela tana yabo hakon rore.
The discussion or the laying out of the benefits of bodhicitta in the first chapter of The Way of a Bodhisattva is not particularly complicated or elaborate. It's a rather condensed or abbreviated treatment. And so for those of you who prefer a simpler presentation of the teachings, you could read this first chapter of The Way of a Bodhisattva.
Tani tez tarong jeban rapo teniz te gana tez mambun rapo teniz shanchib kusem payon tez mambun rapo teniz ship donna tani ngatsum dor de paroche la ta gore paroche ga nangla tani shanchib kusem ga tani ta payon tani pe japchak goni tani jachir tani songyores.
And for those of you who would prefer to read a more in-depth or complex treatment of the benefits of bodhicitta, then there is a very in-depth presentation of bodhicitta in the Prajnaparamita literature.
Tanim dorde parochi the inji ye tolan dug te kena batamchi kutini to chimjin by injury te na te inda manda tastok she gore te latana. And
this is available in English translation, and so there is a really elaborate discussion and very detailed laying out of the benefits of bodhicitta, and this would be very beneficial if everyone were able to read.
Matsishika nala te suso kable mambo jabni teni kashiga ta suso chu gormo te asomo samni titola shik jab teni kashiga teni rigni ga ta chu chisun thombo teni yong samni titola shik jab te kashiga suso rangla teni chi nyanchang da yangna wangcha da toptang da teni yong samni titola teni ta mtsama ga teni shik jabni teni ta ga war ta teni mambo teni ga nala titsut samchi poti nala sungyore.
Some people really invest a lot of effort in their life in working and making money, whereas others invest a great deal of time and effort in study and education and reaching great cultural attainments. Others, on the other hand, invest a great deal of time and effort in achieving fame and power. In any case, these are pursuits in respect of which many people devote most of their time and energy.
Teni pena nga cho mosik teni ta zambalang de la teni kina teni ti kapsa teni nga cho la shir yo mare pamjur yo mare teni jamba thopthang yo mare jiji yo ma wangcha yo mare jiyo yo mare teni pena teni gortik tawre nga cho kharsam shepi gortik ten ra ozre teni ti thoni soso teni lojong shi teni kable mambo jamni teni gortik thoni yang mambo teni kable jamni mambo sone teni tamayang atso teni jikting thoni roi kaps yang gortik thola sher rogo gore gortik thoni yarar son kora chimbo shi jamni yang tama mar gortik thola yong jire.
So when we first arrive in this world, we have nothing. We have no knowledge, we have no power, we have no money. It's like we start off, just as we were talking yesterday, at point zero. Through working very hard and investing a lot of time and energy in various pursuits, study, etc., we're able to accumulate various things. However, when we reach the time when it is we face the time of death, then ultimately we have made one great circle and we prepare to return to 0 point again.
Teni nga chogum baba kabli mambo jabde ate so thamchipo teni nirkab ko teni phamba chamma to ba teni gyang rangbo la tana teni tela phanthok yor jigona pe kabli khagbore je nga cho nirkab inna teni soso gormote ju sagna te ngala phanthok yo nduk sam gyore soso la wangcha de ju na ti ngarang la phanthok nduk sam ne teni sam gyore rete inna yo partini to tisot te rangbo raw teni la tana nga so baba te so thamche pola teni phamba ga jiang me pa teni roine ko chama laryang teni korth ko tola marathon jig me pa ko toni rogo re nga so lagba tongwala teni ten zambalang di thola yong teni yang parndoi chena lagba tongwala rogo du.
these various things that we work very hard for and that we labor very hard for, however, really only have temporary benefit for us. That is to say, they are able to bring us short-term benefit perhaps, but not so much in the long term. So many people think that, by making some money, it will give me benefit now in this life. Attaining a bit of power is also likely to bring me some kind of benefit. And while this may be the case to some extent in the short term, if we take a more long-range perspective, we can see that all of these labors really don't amount to much. That is, that despite all of our efforts and our labors in this life for various goals and various purposes, when it's time for us to die and return once again to the 0 point from which we emerged, then we return empty-handed at this point, just as we were empty-handed when we arrived.
Nguni Tanishan Mulum Tawa Tindis, Mulum Tumchinda Potindi, Mulum Ganani, Yar Sapi Nikumna, Teningaso, Yopangatum Barsunda, Teningasu Kavli Javiata, Tesutama, Tenita Mepa Chakares, some Yar Sapicina.
We could say this entire life of ours is just like one big dream. When we wake up from a dream, we realize that all of our labors and energies expended in the dream just dissolve like that.
Teni tatendi na nga tsu mtsite la tsavani jiji nyambo mepa rezena teni nyambo yopa yinda nyambo mepa yin teni nga tsu susu ko leka la nga tsu lamkha teni damga shikite la thungjo re.
So whether or not our lives have meaning and whether our lives are purposeful really depends on the choices that we make.
Tanim damga de karti norsona tangune nga tsu mtsite la te nyambo jijing me pas tini te rendo ndu lo simchi jingap ji tini jila ta nga tsu mali topi tondang dere zena nga tsu zummu tsu sa jijing menken tini rendo re nga tsu lamka te damga yak bozu she mashina.
If we make the wrong choice in respect of how we lead our lives, then it is possible our lives will become, the lives we lead will be without purpose and not full of meaning. That is, if we direct our energies towards meaningless pursuits, then after 30 or 40 or 50 years, when we look back on this precious human life that we received, we'll realize that in actual fact we haven't really used it for any purposeful objective and that it has really come to nothing.
Tani damga yakbo shi sona tini nga zo mtsinda mulum ta zreta inna yang ta te mulum te la yang mulum te yakbo dondang damba tani zeng tini shi tsir yori.
If we make the right choice or a correct choice, then even though this life is like a dream, it is possible for us to lead a dreamlike life that is rather more meaningful in nature.
Tani damga de kang rezena tani nga zo matsi chikpu matsi yongzok nga zo ditsu changma tani chik dari kongla shabandao nga zo tani pamjor dang tani wangcha dang tani nyanjak da tsu takda ka thokla tani korshu shi jagna tani teso tamjopo nga zo kangtar tani nit sapi nerkamna tani alakur tan girgire te na ti kaps sapi nerkamna te tondak jiji mepa tani tare malum tang malum mjimbi nerkamna tondak yoban rawo tani ta nangre yena malum kangtar nima chila sagore sapi chena tani changma tani ta lakur girni ta tondak mepa chakare.
So for this reason, if we spend our whole life, as we just said, pursuing things like money and status and our reputation, ultimately there is a point when we return to zero that all of these things amount to nothing. That is, while we're in the dream, we're in the midst of the dream state, they might have some meaning or they might be meaningful to us. However, it's inevitable that there is a day or a point when we have to wake from this dream, and when this happens, all of these various things will really be of no significance.
Teni yang mulum ginjikten di nangla teni tonda kashisa nga tsu ti tola tezi titsu tezi tang ten batsun tezi shi tamna teni nga tsu rowi ne kumna kher nin ro choya o teni tsangma teni ta lakur ten gir marguwa teni tonda kayang kashi yore.
Within this dreamlike world of ours, however, there are a few things that we can be diligent in respect of or work hard for that we can actually take with us, you might say. So these are things that at the end of our lives don't return to zero and nothing.
Teni te tolam baba te shi tamna teni nga tsu te kher nin ro chokore ten ro te kher nin ro jiz yona teni nga tsu matsi te yang tondang dambaz rezi na yang te chokore.
So these things that we can work hard for are things that we can take with us. And so you could say that by working hard or striving for these things, this would make our lives meaningful in nature.
Teni yendi teni nga tsu matsi te tondang dambaz shi ta mshi tondang dambaz shi ta yang na ton mepaz shi tsama nga tsu su so rang lala yore.
So really, whether our lives are meaningful or not, whether they are lived with purpose or not, is something that rests in our own hands.
Tartan rapoyona nga tsu su so teni lala yore teni titsun de paru garwi jini teni nga tsu lala yo mare ti kapsa nga tsu teni tapsi yo mare.
At this point in time, the choice is in our own hands. However, after a period of time, we will no longer have these hands and will not be in this position to exercise choice.
Pena nga tsu teni namshi te zi zhangmu yo saga sacha te soda, sacha te zi thumbo yo saga sacha te sola, teni los chiga nangla teni lotok, teni korma chig ma tokpa teni nepki yo mare zi teni zhang moya te. Te shika rezi, teni shiki ti tsukte teni mabgar wikongda, shiki ti tsote par masong wikongda, teni soso yang mona, ne mona chokore, teni chor mona chokore, yang jamba teni tsoma mona chokore, kang mona chokore, ti kapsa soso rang lagla yore. Teni ti tsukte par garwi jini, teni los chika nangla teni ta kanyang taga te mowa tang depi teni tirkab yomare, ta perna te tang rapore.
So we could say it's rather like places that farming lands at somewhat higher altitudes where only one harvest is reaped per year. In the spring season, if the crops are planted by the spring season, then it is possible to grow all kinds of things, grains such as barley and wheat and other kinds of vegetables. However, once this spring season has passed, if this opportunity is missed, then it's no longer possible to grow anything after this, and then the opportunity to harvest for the entire year will have been lost.
Rowi nekabna tani lakur to kir murguwa tani nga su khirni ro chokpa te so gangre zena tani ngimjong re shanship ji sem re tani tonyot te tonda tonyot topi tawari te so korwa nga su khirni ro chokore.
So what are these things that it's possible to take with us when we reach the time for our death? What are these things that don't return to zero? Well, these things include renunciation, compassion, and a view of emptiness.
Tani nga chun norwa changma ta nonchar changma ta tini chu shone yenare jiting shone yenare nga chun norwa changma ta jangrang bola ta ma te pijimsin jimjong go yore nga chun nonchar changma.
All of the mistakes that we make in our lives, whether they be in relation to our religious life or our worldly lives, are all due to our inability to look ahead in a long-term way.
Tani nga chun mu changma ga semkham de tin rizi perna kyorang la dawa jima na la tani kyorang la gormo nigya jinna gada dawandi na la kyorang lamsang gormo gya la la jana gazina nga chun mangboz ga nga tarta gormo gya ngarang la jinna ti gazegres.
Similar to if we asked someone, would you rather that I give you $200 in 2 months' time or $100 now, today? And a great majority of people would prefer to have $100 in their hand right now.
Tenga zum mo changman dandari nga cho tini chila taji ndun taji la pe gabu yore ti jangrang bola taji de nga cho sge na te khakbore.
And everyone, everywhere is like this. We prefer to have things sooner. We prefer things that we can gain more quicker, that are in our close proximity. We are really not habituated to look further or in a long-range sense into the future.
Teni nga cho mtsega na la yarjin ro jita nyamling ko thola yarjin ro to da ma to te yang te la rak la yore changma nga cho tini mungar ta la ta ni tini shini jangrang bola ta matab na te nga cho jangrang bola tini yarjin ro tapshi gobjuk o te shek mare te ma shi na tini nga cho changma de jangrang bola yarjin ro matab tini nerkap se tini yarjin ro na te tichu te par jok sarvi jini tini chi chi me par ro wi jimsen de deres.
So, in fact, whether or not we are able to develop and flourish well in the future, progress really depends on whether we are able to project and to look further into the future, to have a more long-range view. If our approach is simply to focus on the short term and direct all our energies in respect of this, then this is not a sustainable or a tenable way to really work for long-term progress or long-term development.
Teni nga cho takpa chimbo ku chugu nangla teni kari sunga dukzi na teni nga cho shawa kangdang kangyin na tarta pe na nga cho tarta yang pamba yo teni maung ba jang rangbo la yang pamba yo nika la pamba yo kanga teni shawa zingin na teni nga cho yinda menda teni dribgo gore soni teni sunga gore.
So what do the Mahayana teachings tell us about this? Well, what they say is that whatever action we are undertaking or whatever task it is in question, if it has benefit now and has benefit for the future as well, that is that the particular action in question is able to benefit both our present situation and our future situation, then it is the kind of action that we necessarily must engage in.
Teni tarta yang pamba me la maung ba yin rangbo la yang pamba men ken ta no pa yong ken zi na teni yin da menda ti drib nyang mari par pang go re sone teni song gore.
And it's also said that actions or conduct that bring harm in our present as well as in our future are the kinds of actions that we should abandon and get rid of.
Teni tarta nga cho ti chu thong thong go wang to shi na te pamba yo la pamba yo na yang jang rang bo la sam lo tang na teni pamba men ken ge teni pamba men ken da no pa yong ken ge sha wa teni yo te yin na teni drib nyang mari sone teni song gore.
And as for actions that may have some benefit in the short term but don't in the long term, that is that they not only do they not have benefit but they're likely to bring harm, then these kinds of actions are also not the kind that we should engage in either.
Teni tarta teni je pantok me pan ra po yin na teni jang rang bo la ta yong na teni pantok ya po yong ken ge teni sha wa te so te yin da man da drib go gore te yin na jang rang bo la tar go so ne teni song go gore.
However, actions or things that don't have benefit for the present moment, however, will surely have benefit in the future, then this kind of action should certainly be pursued. So this is a long range or a wide-ranging or a long-term perspective.
Ata ti indi jang rang bo la teni ta sam lo te ta na nga cho la pamba yong ken une tang ne pamba yong ken te teni shangship ko sem da ngim jong da ti chu ko ra te ti chu thola nga chu ti chu te chu tang ne kam ne ti chu jam na teni ren thang yo pa ten ti re.
So if we really look at what things are likely to bring us sound benefit in this long-term sense, then they are precisely bodhicitta and renunciation and so on. So by investing effort in respect of these things, by being diligent in working towards these things, then this is a sound approach for us to take.
Oya ta te nga cho nang chu zenan ja thakpa chimbo zenan ja ti rentang ka tawa te teni zre.
So, where this is a value perspective of Buddhism, you could say, or of the Mahayana teachings in particular.
아야 되니 다 때랑 아주 때 상집 그네 동반이 그더니 돈지나 초거래 양나 되니 상집 그 셈텔라 근접 상집 그 셈당 돈덤 상집 그 셈제야 니레 디나니 돈덤 상집 그 셈제나 초거래 되니 대 곰릭티 곰탑티 때랑 아주 돌디밥샤 그래.
So today we are going to be looking at a practice, an emptiness practice, you could say, or you could also say a practice oriented to achieving ultimate bodhicitta.
되니 대 조대 가서 되니 동반이 때라 되니 동반 멍부여래 가서 탁바침보고나라 동반이 지득제한다다 되니 동반이 니시 탐바제한다다 양나 동반이 지제한다 동반이라 멍부여래 디 나니 대랑 아주 조대네 되니 가서 심그 동반이 대 냠림시서 그 거데 되니 시작그래.
So in the Mahayana teachings, there are emptiness is categorized and described in many different ways. There is a categorization or a classification of 16 forms of emptiness, or 20 forms, or 10 different forms. In terms of the emptiness that we're talking about today, this is primarily emptiness in relation to the mind and cultivated through meditation practice.
되니 동반이 되니 곰서도 연바되니 샤자 침보되니 레즈 샤자 침보 냠는 시스르 그든지 그 탑시즈레 때 옛나양 되니 아주 조바 침보나라 든지시니 되니 냠는 시거레 되니 샤자 침보다 조바 침보니까 종지그 니까 임비 트익 되니 양만보 요레 때 옛나 셰당 당부 되니 탑신도 샤자 침보나라 샤거레다 되니 아주 되니 냥마이나 까지디나 만보 근달라 냠는 시거레 되니 나 아주 스즈 냠는 시나 초거레.
So the meditation practice that we are studying today is a Mahamudra practice. It's also a practice that is used in the Dzogchen tradition as well, and there are many traditions of combined Mahamudra and Dzogchen practice. In general, however, we refer to this as a Mahamudra practice, and there are many Nyingma and Kagyu practitioners who do practice this kind of meditation. In general, it's one that can be practiced by anyone.
오야 되니 단디 나라가리 손도즈나 되니 셔칭 낸지르 섬점 년림시 탑남 탈기 주니 집된 밤 통역 나드스 되니 가서 디나라 샤피티니 탑데 냠림시 탑나 갈레 름지 되니 가서 되가 닐그 돈 되니 돈듬된 바 닐그 돈지나 되니 랑그 심그 되니 닐그지나 데랑 데 되니 가서 똑탑 그래지 데 똑탑이 짐슨도 가레레지나지 데 오나 때샤 그래.
So starting with the first verse of this teaching, if you're able to practice Mahamudra with resting movement and awareness, it's a key method for seeing the ultimate nature of phenomena. And so here what we're really saying is that by gradually, step by step, practicing this form of meditation, it is possible for us to see, whether we call it the ultimate nature of phenomena or the ultimate nature of the mind. This is possible through practicing this meditation method.
셈지 추니 대식냥보 요바당 대람망가 나트는 비왕기 데스 실당 아초되니 다 낭추 탁바 침보고 제나 되니 아초 셈디 ngo마 거랑 같으니 닐응고만다오데 강엔제나 되니 대식냥보 제나 상기기 이시지나 되니 대직바리다 대인제 그래.
So in the Mahayana teachings, it is said that the ultimate nature of the mind is either is described as Buddha nature or the 대식님 보양나 상기기 이시래.
상기기 이시.
Yeah, or the wisdom, the Buddha's wisdom.
되니 대식냥보세야 되다 상기기 이시세야 되니 돈닥 직바레스.
So the wisdom of the Buddha or the wisdom of a Buddha and Buddha nature mean the same thing.
Tani nangchu chaparta tini thakpa chimbo da chaparta tini sang dorji thakpa tini zegare tani khorang so zena tani ngachu tani mi sim go ngomati kare zena tani pena ngachu tarta ndapon tani ndochakyo yerdang kongcho tani nyumumba mamboyo pa sim kanala makipa mamboyo pa tani z mare ze ngachu ngomati ti mare ti ngomati ngachu sim go ngomati pe halipa tani yakpo tani ta number takpa tani z resone te songres.
So in the Buddhist teachings, and particularly in the Vajrayana, it is taught that the fundamental essence of the mind is not one that is obscured by afflictions and negative emotions, by desire, by anger, by hatred, by unhappiness, etc. It is taught that the basic essence of the mind, its real essence, is in fact very positive, extremely pure.
Ti inna tini jidang kin la tini tini tatanga su simgo ti ngo tini namba janda po simgo ngo khorang lan gerwa yo marita inna tini namba ti tola tini namba jamba tini namba dugbo o ndocha yo jedang yo tini go tini namba tini re yo ri ti namba ti pena namba to khorang ga tini namkha go chun ta ba ri chun te chun ti indi namkha la chun mangbo yo na tini namkha khorang ga namkha ngumbo ti yakbo ti tini thong thong ko mare pena tinda pozeri inna yang tini chen yopi ne kumna yang namkha khorang ko ngombo ngo khorang ngombo tinri yore o tedang da pozeri sungore.
However, due to the interplay of various causes and conditions, this fundamental pure essence or pure nature of our mind, even though it doesn't change or transform itself, nevertheless becomes obscured by other afflicted mental states and negative emotions. So it's similar to clouds that cover the sky. Even though they may be there, the sky itself is still blue. It hasn't been changed.
Teni nga chu sem go ngo te la ko la jab chu chi jab go mar je khorang ngo go ne teni khorang ngama ni teni dun ne jena yi ne jena teni khorang ngama ne teni khorang ngo teni number tak ba teni zire khorang go ngo la jab chu chi jab go mar te dershak nyam bore sangi gi shita chik pare je gre.
So this nature, or what we call primordial nature of our mind, is not something that needs to be changed. It's not something that needs to be worked on. It is, and always has been, completely pure. And this is what we refer to as Buddha nature, or the wisdom of the Buddha.
Te inna yang teni ta nam tok ta damada mambo teni pe na namkha khorang ngombo inna yang ta tomba inna ti na la nam tok mambo de chen mambo yong gare ten da po chen yo pi ne kamna nam tok mam thong namkha ngombo mam thong a jao nga chu nam tok mambo yo pi kaps teni nga chu sem kana la deshak nyambo yo zena mi mambo ka sam lo ta ngai sem kana la deshak nyambo de gandhi yo ko yo na gandhi zi na sam ne teni ngin thong ko munduk sam ne teni sam gare.
However, when our minds give rise to a great deal of thought activity, of discursive thought activity, then it's very similar to a sky which is originally blue and covered by clouds. In this situation, it's not possible for us to see the blueness of the sky. So many people, when their minds are characterized by this thought activity, wonder how it can be that the ultimate nature of their mind is Buddha nature. How can this be the case, they wonder.
Teni te pena ta nga chu me mambo ga ngarang ga sim ga nala deshak nyambo yore zina teni nga chu nyamnyung men kan teni ga mambo yichi ga mari te deshak nyambo kandi yona san teni sam gre.
So for many people who don't have experience or experience through meditation, they really doubt whether or not they do have Buddha nature.
Tani pena nga chu nyima sim ga nani nyin tangbo dang teni khasang ga nga chu chabar da nyin tangbo nyim bar teni namba ne teni namkhala chunba mambo teni ndowa pena di kaps pena muschi kutini tarna yanchu korang kutini namka ngombo tsawa nin thong mamyung khang ke muzgla ota chen mambo ndukta ina chen di thokla tini ta namka ngombo tini yore zina tini mug tini tokba ke gre zin di chen di thotela namka ngombo tini yore zin dukta te yona mena samni tini tokba ke gre zin namka ngombo tsawa ni ring mamyung khang ke muz yopi wan de shina korang tokba ke gre.
So 3 days ago, or during the first day of our teaching, it was a very rainy day, and there were many, many clouds in the sky. And on this very rainy day, when the sky was very cloudy, if we had said to a person who had never ever seen a blue sky before that beyond these clouds there is in fact an expanse of blue sky, they would no doubt be very doubtful. They would be very skeptical. They would wonder how this could be, never having ever seen a blue sky before.
Tini korang ke samna namka de ngombo de ingi mari namka de ngarang ke tana na ngombo thong mundu ngarang ke tana na namka nakbo de thong mundu namka nakbo ingi re ma to ngombo yo isa mari samni tini samgare.
And this person would think, well, I don't think that this is the case. I can't see any blue sky above me. When I look up, all I see is the black clouds. So I don't believe that the sky could be blue.
Tani perna khasa nyingkong rao tini nam kha tini chen tham chu ma me pa chang ni tini nam kha ngombo re yong tini korang ke samna o nguni nam kha tini ngombo de yinzu samni ngama ngi nam kha tini thong ko mayo z ma to ba nam kha tini ngoni ngombo yinzu samni tini zo korang yi chin ro re.
However, just like yesterday afternoon when the clouds finally parted and opened up the blue sky, well, if the person who had originally doubted the existence of a blue sky had seen this, then they would realize that after all, the sky really is blue, and that their lack of belief in its blueness before was only due to never having seen it.
Teni ten rabore te dang chik pare nga so teni namtok tarta nga so semganala namtok mongbo yopi kapsa nga so deshak nyambo zi jizum thong mundu te ayo mayo samni teni samgare teni gum gyabni nga so namtok tamchi mar mepa chakne teni nili kuton yakbo tokpi kapsa teni nga so o deshak nyambo zi jizum ndu deshak nyambo zi jizum yore songkondagda te rendu deshak nyambo zi jizum ndu samni so nyamnyung gugone teni hakondo gore.
So it's just the same where we are at the moment with minds, with so much discursive thought activity in our minds. People wonder why they can't see their Buddha nature and whether or not they do possess Buddha nature. However, through engaging in meditation practice and being able to see Buddha nature and experience Buddha nature for oneself, then we will be able to discover that yes, Buddha nature really does exist. It really is true. And in this way, gain a direct experiential understanding of it.
Yana perna nga zu chide par kyakba changni kyakbari ni rungun ra oren ore perna shangni tang teni lorni peji nanji o tesola teni kyakba chimbo rungun ra bodin ri to nduwa ti kapsa nga zu mokchiglam zu mo zu ni ndo chire ndi rungun mare ndo chire zina teni hama kong keng mo so ndo chigala yin chundin ri yo mare de ndo rungun re zini teni zegres.
So it's rather similar to water and its relationship to ice. At the North and South Poles, there is a great deal of banked up ice, and in many situations looks like mountains. And a person not knowing that these mountains were formed of water might go there and say, oh, look at these mountains, and they would doubt that they were made in fact of water.
Teni di kapsa teni korang teni kyakpa te chide teni kyakpa re ni rungun rabo teni reyo vi kapsa inna di kapsa korang ka namba ti teni partana teni ta don rabo ta rungun rabo teni re yena teni namba ti teni re ta yena korang ka ngo te di kapsa tarong chire.
Even though a person looking at these ice formations would see a form that looked as if it were made of stone or was mountain-like, in actual fact, the basic essence of these formations is in fact water.
Teni te 가서 다 먹하시는데 치마인데 두레 근데 실레 근데 그래서 먹공간소 옛날에는 녀맛 잡니 근데 시용의 값을 그런 건 나니 추특바식 특바니 근데 작용디 미만 보고 근데 근데 두레면도 근데 실레면도 근데 치린도 삼니 디 값을 하고 그래.
So many people looking at these mountain-like formations would say, oh, they're made of stone, or oh, they're made of glass. But as the sun shines and the ice formations melt one drop at a time, then people would finally realize that in actual fact they're not made of stone or glass at all, but made of water.
되니 대당 잡으시니 나초 따따가리 삼고르는 나랑 그 셈데 뉴문바레 나랑 그 셈데 노척레 나랑 그 셈데 제르당레 나랑 그 셈데 득부레 나랑 그 셈데 ngan송라 팽거레 나랑 그 셈데 득부 딱딱 마톤 디나라 지경 민두 나랑 그 셈데 나랑라 되니 쭈부 되니 용 쭈부 되니 머심 마키바 되니 쉐근데 나랑 그 셈데 눈시그레데 나랑 그 셈데 심트레데 삼니 되니 삼고요레 따따가초.
And so it is like us in our current state. We believe that our minds are plagued by afflictions. We feel that our minds are full of desire, of miserableness, of anger, of hatred. We feel that we are completely bad, that we're unhappy. We feel pressured. We feel anxious.
디 값을 되니 가서 셈데 되니지 말에 가서 셈데 대식 영보래 가정 저 셈데 되니 상기 이시래잖아 되니 가서 이치도 그 말이지 가서 셈데 간디고니 상기 이시 나랑 그 셈나라 제당께근도와 나랑 되니 공초께근도와 나랑 도착께근도와 상기 이시라 공초 가려요 그래 가요 그래 요쪽 말에 되니 삼거래.
And if in this state people are to tell us, no, your mind is really in its basic essence Buddha nature, then this would be something we'd find difficult to accept. How could it be that our minds are really in their ultimate essence Buddha nature, or the wisdom of the Buddha? What we feel is anger or hatred or desire.
어때니 가서 금잡니 갈래 금잡이네 금나더니 가서 름기 하고 온 거래 름기 가서 셈티 ngote tini dukboz mayim batang tini ngote tini dershanyang boyim ba kali nyamnyung ko tini koyong gore di kapse tini ngaso semte tini dukboz mayim zin doshak mayim zin de kharang ka namban rawo tini yin zin ma topa ngote te mayim samba tini ichi de tobong gore.
But by practicing meditation, it is possible for us to step by step gradually recognize that in actual fact the essence of our mind really is Buddha nature, or the wisdom of a Buddha. And this is something that we are able to gain direct experience of, and discover that in fact our various afflictions, our desire, our hatred, our anger, etc. are only but appearances of our mind, or in our mind, and that our mind's basic essence in fact is Buddha nature. And through gaining experiential understanding of this, our conviction will grow.
셈티 약보즈더니 하고요 말에 아주 원이 전입시는 아주 참하고 수소랑 그 셈티 간디지긴 시기요 말에 그런 거뭐 캬버도 그런 거땅 잡사디 간디지긴더니 자완이 시기요 말에 대 맛이 비김선기 더니 뇽몬바만보 셈가나라 용거요래.
Really, most of us don't have a very good understanding of our minds at all, and particularly the most deep and profound level of our minds is something that we don't understand, and it's on account of a lack of understanding that we give rise to so many afflicted mental states.
더니 배나 뭐니 때 과랑니 때니 사차 람타랑보 드니 치메사가 사차티니즈란 로고나 드니 람타랑보 베나 산인 라보즈라 코라니 치메사가 드니 시마가 탕티니즈란 로고나 드니 코라니 람카네 드니 캬바가 릉고 드니 쳔보즈라 특소나 드니 머스치포딘데 캬바임바 하고 그래 대식보디 온디나란데 따따따난데 치르문두다이나 온디나라 치요레 데나 나랑 그 캬바데 키르닌 로군 캬바데 케르나 teni samni ngala chen hong ji yore samni masjid di kyakpa yamba gongken di teni kyakpa de kerni ro teni chikpoti mashi pare chikpoti de kyakpa mari do re sam yana shir rabo tin re samni on de doze rendu samni te sam gare ti samna oda do kerni pandok ji mar samni teni khobara ga yuja gare.
So we could say it's like two people who, the day after the next, are heading towards a far-off place in the desert where there is no water whatsoever. En route, these two people pass an ice mountain, just like the one that we described before. One of the two people knows that the mountain is made of ice, in fact, and that in carrying some ice with them, they will have water to drink when they reach the desert. The other person, however, doesn't know this. They don't know that the mountain is made of ice. They think that it is made of stone or glass, and thinking that there's no point in carrying stones with them on the road, they pass up the opportunity.
Then kyakpa yimba gongkente koran kyakpa keriyore koran chen hongju yore then kyakpa yimba ma gongkente la chen hongju yo marete te dang da bore.
So in the days that pass, as they head to the desert where there's no water to drink, the person who has taken the ice has enough to quench his thirst with, whereas the person who didn't take or passed up the opportunity to take some ice is without anything to drink. And it's just like this.
Teni dan kyakpa teni da koran ga kyakpa teni chid girni teni chidin thongona teni jotsat go re teni jotsat yona teni kyakpa mara jini chirin gore de na teni ngacho tartan kyakpa ngacho la yore si tartan ngacho simde kyakpa ro bore da ngacho teni kyakpa de par chi ngor girgona teni ngacho semgonan go jotsat jimto la tong go re di tamshi di da ngacho tarta go re.
So in order to transform ice to a liquid form, to water, so that we can drink it, it's necessary that we have temperature, warmth, in order to melt the ice into water. So we can say that at the moment our minds are just like ice. And to transform them into a water state, it's necessary that we also have warmth, that we have some way to increase the temperature. And it's in respect of this that we, at this present moment, need a method. So really what we need right now is warmth.
Ni yana pe na nga cho tini namka la chimba mambo cherne namka ngumbo mare samkang ga matela namka ngumbo re di chimba ga thola namka ngumbo re zena de kaps khora ye machina tani nga cho ta namka chimba mambo ti thola sone tani ta go re tani namjung na lan to ni ta na ta kona lam sum thong gore ta nga cho tarta goya ti nga cho namjung na la tini tan dik ban ra o te go yo re.
Or you could say that if in the situation of a person who's never seen the blue sky before and looking at the sky from underneath the clouds doesn't believe that it is blue above, one thing they could do is go in an aeroplane to above the clouds, and then they would see for themselves that the sky was blue. So you could say that what we need right now is warmth, or otherwise an airplane to take us above the clouds.
Oya ta namtru kawa yore gangri teni jotsati teni ta kawa yore ta jotsati gangri zina teni tera nga chu shaki de jotsati namtru re.
So what is this warmth that we need, or what is the airplane that we need that is going to take us there? So today what we're going to be talking about in our teachings are these two things, warmth and airplanes.
Tela banga kana tunan bi wangi yende zindartar chu thamchi chi sawa sim rangla thigbe rangsim gi nat zalna sim gi khsang shini chu thamchi lam khesham dag mi pi to bar ngerbis ta ngarang chu teni chu zina teni shusola yopi nga so tartam mukum thongya da nawa ko da teni norna wangbo gor nga na la teni nga so nyamsim yongwan da so sama ti teni zawadi korang sir dirna ti kangla thyore zena tini simla thyore ndo so sangma sim go chumchur ra bores.
So all phenomena that we perceive, whether it be that which we perceive with our eyes or our ears or any of the other of our five senses, the very root of all this, all phenomena, is in fact our mind, and all of these other phenomena that we perceive are but appearances of the mind.
Tini chumchar zina kandi zina tini mungchar tong ka moshus. Tini mungchar tong kan sogo tini pena khangba mesala khangba da, tini shang mesala shang, metok mesala metok, tini mambo kosogo tini ngasola tini mtongwa, tini she gerezi mungchar yakbo tini station kan to sogo yena, tini mepa tamchupo yoban rawo da, yoba tamchupo mepa tini shini ngasogo mukti tini chirrowa kosogo tini she tab gere. Tini pena mungchar tini tong kan tini zika tini ngaso sacha tongba zika nangla pena metoko langada, tini chida, tini kangbada, teso mambo zi tini korang ka mungchir tini tongyona, tini di kapsi tini metoko ngoma yo mare, chiyang ngoma yo mare, teni rabo zika tini tosu sangma yo mare ta yinna tini mungchir tongkan ti korang ka nipa la tini mungchir di ngaso mungnang la tini nangwa rezi. Di kapsi pena langada, chida, metokda, tini kangbada, teso ti si tini shiba rezi na, teni ti mungchir tongkan ka mo di tini chomchir rezi go rezi.
So in terms of magical apparitions or magical displays, we need a magician to conjure these things, and magicians with very good skills are able to create the appearance of buildings in places where there are none, of trees in places where there are none, of flowers in places that there are none. That is, they're able to conjure appearances of things when there aren't any, or conjure the appearances of no things when there are things. They are, through their magical skills, able to trick our eyes. So even though they are able to, through their skills in magic, they're able to create the appearance of flowers and water and other things in empty spaces, these flowers and other apparitions that we see are not real. It is through the power, the efficacy of the magician that these appearances are manifested, and we believe them to be real. So in terms of the various phenomena that we see, these appearances, in order for them to be there, we need to have a magician who is behind their conjuring.
Tindi nga so shitsola yo piteni mukum tongwa nawa tuba tani naga chora lipo rakpa chingum nyongwa tisu tamchu to gangrezina tani nga so sim ga tini nangni par tini shiro la sharwi tini zungyen sim ga chunyen otoyin.
So all of these sights that we behold with our eyes, and the things we hear with our ears, the sensations of our bodies, the tastes that our tongue perceives, all of these things are but projections or appearances made by our minds.
Yang nga so perna jamchu uthokta yang na tini shima ga thangla tini namkhala tana tini namkhala tini khangbada tini namkhala langkhorda tini namkhala me mamboda tso tini ta thongji yore zhi zhongchir jin thonggre yinna tini mus jamchu go tini tangla tini yore jina yo mare na de shima ga thangla tini namkhala tini yore jina yo mare mena tini ti korang tini ta khaw ko nangla nyima go wazir gyamni tini nyimi wazir ko dongcho go top go teni namkhala teni to tongcher tang langkhorta teni moda teso teni nangywa teni zre.
So sometimes when we are near the ocean or we are in a desert, it is possible for mirages to be seen, including mirage-like cities on the horizon. And these mirage-like cities may be made up of buildings and people and other things that look very, very real, but in actual fact they don't truly exist in the desert or near the ocean. They are an appearance, a display that is produced by an interaction with light, sunlight, and the atmosphere, and it is this interaction that produces these mirage-like appearances.
어때니 대당 잡고래 가서 때는 잠볼랑도 때는 가서 수소 삼로 마땅나 배난 잠볼랑다는 때는 저 뎀바리 상마더니 뎀바당 때니 상마대 가서 온 소화가 나라이나 가서라 판바신킨 노바신킨 된지거든이 뎀방 우만 잡고더니 레지 옛날 다른 가서 집그 고니 때니 점무 고니 딱시시나 때니 된지 말에 때 딱시시나 저 상마 즈민 잡고 창도래.
And it's the same actually in our real lives, in the real world. That is, we take everything around us to be truly existent, to be real. People who are good to us, people that are harming us, things that are good, things that are bad. We regard these as all as if they truly existed. However, if we investigate these phenomena in a detailed manner, we discover that they too are simply projections or appearances.
양나 베르나테니 찜칠 것더니 년치가 드름 거나나 정시 드름 거나라 더니 라코르타식 영 라코르타식 디마토 안장니 디마토 바요 마레스 찜칠 거랑가 나라 옛날 아주 먹었다요나 더니 양자 먹었다나 양더니 가동난 거래 증난 거래 나와냐나 더니 양자 난 거래 이게 난 거래 미즈민 난 거래 잠만자 나 쪽만난 거래 레데나 찜틀 거나라 미즈민 요 말에 잠니 요 말에 라코르탕직 딘디타다 마토 요 말에 티창마가 하고 그래.
We could use the metaphor of a computer operating system. In fact, the computer language is only made up of 0, 1, 0, 1. And despite the fact that the programming is only is made up of only these two binaries, in fact, we see with our eyes all manner of sounds that are produced by the computer. We see colors on the screen, we see forms, we see text, we see images. But in actual fact, none of these things really exist. The only thing that lies behind all of this is 0, 1, 0, 1. This is something, no doubt, that everyone knows.
다든지 나와 나 쪽바드서 가서 고속 강라 등등지 가서 너디 망보 좀 통야디 짜와디 강라 등등지나 베나 되니 뭉틀동 그 먹었더니 거랑가 랑가다 되니 치다 되니 망보 렌드게 더서 짜와더니 되니 뭉틀동 그뭐 거랑가 락시데라 되니 더여래.
So what is the root or the origin of all of these appearances or all of these phenomena that we see? The different appearances that the magician conjures, etc. What is the origin or what is the root of all of this? Ultimately, it is the skill of the magician in conjuring these appearances.
Teni namkala nawi teni zhi zhongqi teni zhongqi nawa di teni zawa de gangla tengde zena de chik teni khawudang ni teni nima wodang sumti teni yang rangbo zla teni ngacho namkala nayo teni zhongqi zi yore de kono namkala nayo re teni di zawa teni tela thyo.
Di sumbadi chire kambola.
Somebody pena haishan lu sha go no ngai. Haishan lu cha na pena
kabuk teni nima ko wot teni.
Nima ko ta teni pena namkala ti tongchir na ona ti tongchir de jangrangbo na yo pi tongchir zimyin den dana nang yore. Jangrangbo zna tongchir ngoma yore te dang da bo yore. Te sim de korang ga zaware.
So it's the same with a mirage-like city that appears on the horizon. In order for this mirage to be produced, we need the air, the atmosphere, the sunlight, and the beholder from a far-off position.
어떠니 심틀 그나라 가서 zimyin 망보다 자 망보다 텐디 예게다 텐디 텐디 잡버다 텐디 망보요 파티 자와디 강라 팅드지나는 텐디 라고르당 직 지텔라 트겨레.
And the origin of the pictures and sounds and text and everything else that is produced on our computer screen, what lies behind this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1.
teni ngazo dan di ngazo nawa mukum thonga nawa thua ngazo tini wangbo gor nga tini nyamsum yong injiktin de kangla thgore jan te chawa ngazo semla thgore.
And in terms of the origin of the phenomenal world that our senses perceive, the origin or the root of all this is our mind.
되니 때라 김천 멍부샤지요래 되는 가서 되니 김천 가시는 차르거야 되니 병황시 탑거래 대 가시는 가서 냠뇽고니 시고래 다 이나 되니 다 때랑 가서 야 김천 멍부샤 비딘디 티츠려 말해.
So there are many explanations as to how this is the case. There are scientific explanations, there are experiential or phenomenological explanations, but we don't really have too much time today to go into much of this.
되니 강따르 가서 시로 그나도 담장 가서 심라트요래 제티 이나 때 가서 납쇼고 되니 심주 되니 나와 따와테 레지나 때 말해테 가가레.
So in saying that the outer or the external phenomena that we perceive is but an appearance of our mind, this view, however, is not the same as an idealistic or an idealist view in Western philosophy.
어따티 인디 가서 잠발랑텔라 되니 지르추 잡고나 되니 저 심라 지르추 잡장나 되니 르요래 때 가서 체레지나 잠발랑가 나와서 탐치뽕 가서 심거나니 파리용거요래 티시나 되니 심란게라 잡나 되니 또 잠발랑가 나와서 솔라더니 제로 만보즈 름기 용거래.
So in order to change the world, it's necessary for us to change our minds. And the reason for this is that if the external world does originate from our minds, then by making changes at the level of our mind, gradually, the external world will be changed too.
늘 르크셴 만보토 테 토든기 망 타르테나지 당아초 테랑디 값스 냠슬 렌서테 르파가 테니 샤파 mambo 타네 테니 르실즈 마레제 테니 덴아초 냠뇽 거 토네 테니 심라타스 테니즈 올라샤 그레.
So for this, discard the numerous methods of conceptual analysis and rely on the pith instructions. This verse is referring to the fact that the meditation method that we are learning about today is not one that requires conceptual analysis and investigation and so on. It is a practice or a method for experiential understanding.
카낭드 쇼티 랑가 심라 티피체 지앙 멈추어버는드나 네바지샤 남토 나속밤초나 녀와지샤 오야 다니다 가서 심라 테니 타비네 금나지 시르당 가서 테니 심라 타토 마시니 페나 레카 mambol레 삼로 mambo 당 mambo 자 테니 제라 mambo 쿰쿰 테니 시피 값스 테니 가서 테니 심티 간리즈 레 마레 테 짜와니 당 잡고요 마레 테니 하양고 마레 가서 심티 페쇼 땅니 테니 코랑 셜로라 테니 삼로 mambo 당 레카 mambo 레니 테니 시거 인나 테니 페쇼 땅아티라 삼로 땅고요 마레 페나 가서 테니 녀 이깁즈나 가서 이깁티 테니 약보 용다 마요 테 삼로 땅고요 마토바 녀 테라 삼로 땅고요 마레지 이깁트비 값은 가서 이기란 당 잡거레 마토 녀글란 당 잡거 마레 딘라보레 가서 남진 셈티 페나 녀근라보레 가서 셈란 당 잡고요 마레 되니 이긴라보도 쇼르거 되니 우보도 소레 쇼르거 우보란 당 잡고 마토 되니 셈란 당 잡고 마레 디 값스 데 가서 셈티 간디진 하고요 마레.
In terms of observing our mind, usually we are not doing this when we are focused on our external lives, work, thinking, we're busy, we're preoccupied, or we're occupied with a lot of activity. In this situation, we're not thinking about what the mind is, we're rather using it to do work. In the external world, and we can liken this to using a pen. When we're using a pen to write words, we're really focusing on the writing of words and we're not contemplating the pen itself. And so we can say that it's like this when we're busy with our activities, we are really focusing, using our mind to achieve these activities. We're focusing on the writing of letters. We are not focused on the nature of the pen itself or the nature of our mind. And so for this reason, we don't have a good understanding or realization of our minds.
Teni nimaschila ngacho yeke mambo chne teni yeke njoksum teni vjerne yeke chwatin cham jerne teni ngacho nyugla jimjuk shipa teni tengo tsukbare.
However, if on one day we finish with our writing of words and we lay down our pen, or we then pick it up and begin to examine it, then our investigation of the pen begins from this day.
Teni ngacho samna kemsar teni nyogan teni chongchong teni zganala ngai nyima mambu yeke chnayo te zaya chikyang mendu tinala teni yenrambo chokndo. Teni ngarang nyogan di shogo tola chna nak tinali naksa de mar yongndo. Mapchna teni shi jawjagna naksa yonggo mendu. Te kemsar kandi yana samne teni korang nyogala jimjik shepa teni ngotsuk sonze.
And then at this one day, on this day that we decide to begin to research the pen, we will pick it up with an attitude of wonder, and we will think, how strange it is that this instrument that I have been using to write letters with every single day in an endless flow is like it is. When I press it to paper, ink flows forth. However, when I lie it down, no ink comes out. What a strange thing this pen is. And this is how we will think when we start to research it.
Ota te tangrapo shini teni ngacho ta nyimachila ngacho simla jimjushi teni ngotskni ota namgini na ngacho sim korang peshut tangni lekan ramara mambo leni nyo tabushi kyore ta ngarancho teni ta sim tela teni jimjushi ngotskni ta ngacho sim te kandizing ta gundu samni nyimachila teni sim korang la ngacho jimjushi tang sim korang la teni takshipshi teni te ngotsk bare.
And it will be just like this on the day that we decide to really start to research our minds. These minds that up until this point we've really used in order to do work in the external world. When we begin to look into them, then our examination or investigation of them will begin.
Teni semla jimjuk ta kandi chego orzena teni charig pag teni lapala teni tela semla jimjuk teni mamboz teni shibare.
So how do we go about investigating or examining these minds of ours? Well, scientists themselves have many ways of investigating the mind by looking at the processes of the brain.
Dijita inna te di korang ke sem ko ngomate ha ko thap ko ya mari ngaso sem ko nala nam tong ramra mambo kina tani labang nala ngerwan ro tin gerwa ti shi yo re ma to ba sem korang ngoma thaka thakar teni ngaso chucha kang ge na ta thap ko ya mari.
However, by using these methods, it's not possible to discover the essence of the mind. Through examining the mind using various machines, it's possible to register changes in brain processes that take place as a result of changes in the mind. However, using this approach that relies on the external investigation of the mind using machines and technology, it's not possible to discover the mind's essence.
Tang ngaso simla thakar tani pe na ngupundala dorjindala tini muk thakar ta di parla tini ngupo jang kangyang parmachu par thakar ta tawan rawoti tindi goni sarvos ta gona ngaso simtela sizg ta gore muk ta gore ta nawa ta gore ta yana lagpa rak gore kandi gore zina tes chikyang thap ko mare sim khorang ta gore.
So it's just like if we wanted to look at this dorji directly with nothing coming in between us and it, nothing to obscure it. In this situation, what would it be that needs to observe the dorji? Would it be our eyes or our ears or our hands? What would ultimately be that which observes it? Well, none of these things are necessary. It's simply a matter of the mind observing itself.
Ota tindi yendi ngaso mug lipun di nala yopi tini ngaso tini wangbon deso nala simla ta tongkhen simla tini ta tongkhen de sim khorang ma to jamba chikyang yo mare. Ngaso li ga wangbo zena mug wangbo na wangbo la sa ba deso nala teni sim tela thakar korang ta tini ta tongkhen de serezi ta thumkhen de serezi na sim khorang re 코랑 찍고 마도 잠바치 영요 말에 잠바치 그 따뜻 그 말에.
So in terms of the different sense consciousnesses, our different sense consciousnesses, or in terms of the mind itself and the mind consciousness, there is in fact no other thing or no other one besides the mind itself that is able to observe these things.
따뜻이 인디 배나가 좀 묵잡고 가랑 미 묵잡고 있나는 티니 코랑 같으니 실라 따뜻 그래 실라 참아 코랑 그 시그레 마도 봐 코랑 결록 잡네 티니 묵 나라 따뜻 그 말에서 묵잡고 있나 코랑 그 난간디요 코랑 그 따뜻 그 말에 시다다 따고 그래서 묵잡고 있나.
So if we take the example of our eyes, they are possible of looking outwards into the external world and perceiving phenomena in the external world. However, it's not possible for our eyes to turn inwards on themselves and see into their internal structure.
드니 샘 틴디 저레지나 샘 틴디 마레지 드니 샘 그 코랑 그 실라양 따뜻 그래 양 코랑 그 나라양 따뜻 그래.
However, our minds are not like this. Our minds are not like our eyes. Our minds have the ability to both look outwards and look inwards.
어때니 다 가서 어때니 샘라 따고나 때니 가서 디 리본 디토라 코랑 마토바 잔 따듬 그렇지 양만도 때니 다 코랑 따집고 그래. 코랑 그 따위니 그 간디 따고 그러잖아. 다가 양쪽 가서 파르코르니 셜로라 따오래. 다 서코르니 때니 코랑 따고 그래.
So in terms of looking into our own minds, there is no one or nothing else within our own bodies that is able to do this other than our minds. So just as these minds of ours have been able to look outwards, we need to turn the mind inward in order to look at itself.
다 때페장나 가서 강반디나리 마른 로니 셜로라 토니티니 고야르전에 남칼라타나 아니 마통 통지요 말이지 양나 남칼라 점바용 근데 양나 남카 점바면이 홍보용 근 대니 마통방아 졸람 통지 통야 스마즈요 말이지.
So if we were to leave this building right now and go outside and lie on the ground and look at the sky, there are only two possible things that we could see. Either we would see the blue sky or we would see clouds. Aside from these two things, there is nothing else we'd see. And also, when we turn the mind inwards, there are only two possible things that we will discover.
Tani namtok chigyang me patini tangmu goni deyo yore te na ngaso kharsang kona shapi kharsang ngaso nyimachigla shapi tani lakur kutini namba tere ti thola lopo shini ti namtok machini dayupi ne kawre tes chigres.
So the first possible state that we can discover when our minds turn inwards to observe themselves is a state of stillness. Like we described yesterday, a pond when there is no wind, a pond whose face is completely still. This is a state of no thought, a state of resting at point zero. This is the first of the two possible states that we can discover when we turn inward to have our mind observe itself. And this particular state is what we refer to as stillness.
Yana ngatu semga nala tawi nekamna teni tendi zangwa tat zangwa longme pata maimba teni namtok mambo semga nala kene teni namtok chikjila te nama nazokba yang teni yang tayan debala samlo ta yang maung bala samlo ta kor hale ba nyokta teni gorum yo mare du titola teni ngapshi ramba yo mare jiji yo mare chad yo mare teni nyokta teni namtok mambo ke yore teni ti
So aside from this first state of stillness or resting, the second possible state that we can discover is one where our minds are giving rise to thought activity. a great deal of thought activity, possibly thoughts of all kinds constantly streaming up from our minds, thoughts about the past, thoughts about the future, thoughts that have no order, that chaotic, that come in all shapes and sizes. And this kind of state is what we refer to as movement. So aside from these two states, there is no other state that we can discover our mind in. So when we lie down and look up at the sky and see it as a blue expanse, then this is the same as discovering our mind in a resting state or in a state of stillness. And if we look at the sky and see it obscured by all kinds of cloud formations, then this is the same as discovering our mind in a state of movement.
nina nepati nyamsumywa teni nepati saru hakowa tere te kharsang ngaso kongla shepi gum gyapi ne kblaina ngaso semla tani semknala napto yo mete sola tasr kongla yo te tang deni shikpare.
In addition to these two states, there is also a third possibility, and that is one of awareness or experiential awareness of the state that our mind is in. So this is an awareness of whether our minds are in movement, experiencing movement, or whether our minds are resting. The experiencer, or that which is aware, or the awareness of this state, is also a third possibility. And this is what the same as what we were speaking about in yesterday's teaching.
Tati namgin pena ngachu namkhala pena gorsalandoni namkhala tana zi pena ngachu njokbadaw tindina pena njokbada ngama tini ngama murgte soyina koso takbar namkhala tagre namkhala tani ta nima khashiga nala nam bafsare ta bafsa mare yana tini namshi yakbo yongsare ta mare je koso tini namngo la mambo tagre je te ngama mo soyina.
So people in bygone times, such as nomads, etc., quite often look to the sky in order to determine how the weather would be in over the coming days. That is, they would look at the sky in order to see whether rain was coming or whether good weather was coming.
Teni tartaina ngachu khimnala khangbaanala deni lekamambolini khummukumshini teni khabar gongola tani ongachu namshi kandra yensari maungbi zangkurchikanala namshi kandri yongsare charwat babsa are khang babsa are teni namshi go totang kachi wasare je ngachu namngula yarta mare khabar gongola marta gre.
These days, however, we spend most of our time indoors working away at our busy tasks, and when we want to know what the weather is going to be, we turn to our cell phones and they tell us what the weather is going to be like in the coming week, whether there'll be rain or snow or how hot it will be. We no longer go out and look to the sky to discover these things.
Teni yendi teni namshi ge teni jowa ta jangwa chumshi ge angjang te chuma toba namkhang umatin thongi bayo mare mimangbo ge ta mare.
So aside from what they see in their mobile phones, numbers that represent what the temperature it will be and words that represent what the warmth or coldness will be, nobody turns to the sky anymore to discover these things.
Tani ta ngachu di kapsa gom japine kamna pe na ngama go mutso raposhini teni jangala tawa maimba namkha khorang la thakar tawa o tindin raposhini teni ngachu semla tayundi o teni ta sem tindin negendu ta sem tindin chondu samba khorang ngomatin thongoreze ngachu jangazla tawa mare namkha muk ngumbo khorang la ngus tawa rawo yana 남칼라 쩐요나 되니 차르밥고요나 차와데 우스드니 가서 밥고요 바 묶음 통한다고 든리시니 다 네나네요 바더니 초남 초고요 바데 딱 그래.
So in meditation, we are like people in the past who have looked to the sky to discover the weather. In looking at our minds, in observing our minds, we are aware of whether they are giving rise to thought movement, whether they are in a state of movement, or whether they are in a state of stillness, whether they are resting. And in so doing, we are like people who look to the sky to know what the weather is going to be. That is, people who don't rely on numbers and information to tell them, rather people who look to the state of the sky and the state of the clouds to know how the weather will be. And by observing our minds, observing when they're resting, observing if they're moving, then we are acting in a similar way.
Dani ngama mote soina koso sama tini rangshung kamda korigla chargi hali ba chimbo yore mususu shigri namkala tani dani long diablugta chimba tini rolugta tesola tani dani namshi yapo yongsare mare dani namshi jangmo yongsare ta jombo yongsare dani me mambo dani ngama mote so koso hago re.
So people in earlier times, they really had an very intimate familiarity with the natural environment. They were able to understand the wind and the formation of clouds, and by being able to read these signs in nature, know whether the weather would be good or warm or however it would be.
Deni tartang deni mutaso ngaso kabra tola taje de mauto bazyan chi namshi ge deni chilli panda mauto bazyan ba so namshi la chi chagiyo mare zawane shi mare.
However, people these days, aside from knowing to look at their mobile phones, have got no understanding of how the weather operates at all. With the exception of expert or professional meteorologists, the average person has got no understanding of the weather really.
Deni teimbi jimsenji ngaso rangshung kamda katak jetak jerang royore rangshung kamla ngaso chargi jeme royore.
And so, for this reason, we become ever more estranged and ever more distant from the natural environment, and our familiarity of it becomes less and less.
Deni gum jamni ngaso taka deni gum jamni ngaso simla tatum kentesu pena deni ngama mandra boshini de korangana simde ngoma ndire samne koranga takar nyamsunywa goni shinken munji manamji namshila tawanra deni takar koso tagare.
So those practitioners who directly observe their minds in meditation and directly observe the state that their minds are in are just like these people in the past who looked at the sky in order to know the weather.
Deni gum magimni ngaso deni ripi zonglik chikpos ke thone ngaso sim tere zipa deni razina deni ngaso tarta pena namshila kapar kongola tawanra bores ripi zonglik changbayna.
If we simply rely on conceptual analysis and theoretical investigation in order to assess or understand the way that our minds are, then this is the same as someone who simply knows how to look at their mobile phone in order to understand the weather.
Dendri indi tari ngaso ndi kapsa deni patakar tani deni ngaso sim chona tan tendim chowondu chowazeya den dendri zere korang tendim chowondu di jila dendri yonggondu sambawo nyamnyung goni yaboshi gore.
So in this meditation, we directly look at our minds, we directly observe them. We see if they are in a state of movement, and if they are, how they are moving, and what happens after a thought arises. We directly observe the way that they are like this.
Ani payenna teni ni pikapsena tang ne semde teni tata namtong cho mundu ne parindu teni ne pa zeya tin drizela zegendu ne pa tin drizere sambawo korang takar teni ne pa tin nyamsumnyong tabgoyore tenji ge teni chonam chowa nyamsumnyong atang anena ne pa nyamsumnyong atela teni kari zegre tela rikpa zegre.
So by directly observing the mind, observing it in a state of rest, that is observing that it is currently not in a state of giving rise to thought, directly observing what this state of resting is like, to directly experience it in this way, or whatever state is it in, to directly experience our minds, whether they are moving or resting. This direct experience or direct observation is what we refer to as awareness.
Teni rigpaziandi ngacho tari kona shapatere rigpi zonglu ko kone ngacho takshit gyabne o semte yanam chogo gore yana nego tendis mareze rigpa takshit gyabaz mare yang ngacho namtok ko teni namtok ko samne samlu tane nge sem chogondu tendi chogondu o yana nge semte nindu tendi shine nendu samba teni tendu mareze karsang ngacho kona shapi nyamnyung go goni karsang ngacho kona tramba dang shujin go goni nyamnyung Yangramboni tagore shayo 어떤지 그랬더니 내나 티니 네파테 거랑 그 냠스 용화당 다네 추남 추와데 냠스 용고래 마토 바더니 삼루 땅에 초건도 내건도 된지 말해.
So this awareness is not one that entails us conceptually investigating or conceptually examining the state that our mind is in. Or discursively asking questions about the state that our mind is in. It is a direct experience of our mind, similar to what we were talking about yesterday in terms of mindfulness and awareness. These entail a watching of the mind from afar. So if the mind is resting, or whether it is resting or whether it is in a state of movement, the direct experiencing our direct experiential understanding of the state that the mind is in is what we mean by awareness.
Teni namgin teni targo oreze ngaso namgin nyamlim shipini kumna tandela gum gyabze gore gum tizena kanri rezina teni korang sem ko semla tani ta sem choyona dim choade ha고난 그 요래 마토 바 담 초운등 지금도 나랑 인담담 초ade 말 맘초와 시고 삼바들이 고 말에 고랑 초남 초ade 하고 그래 들려 장고 말에.
So in our frequent practice of this meditation, when we bring our minds to observe themselves, it's sufficient if our minds simply observe, are simply aware, they're knowing of the state that they are in. So if our minds are giving rise to thought movement, it is sufficient for our minds to simply be aware of aware that this is the state the mind is in. There is no need to think that, here my mind is giving rise to movement, I should stop this, I should change this state. This is not what we mean at all. It's simply a state of knowing or being aware of the mind's state.
Teni semte neona teni nepate oda nena nepate hakona teni dikre kosogo ramjin teni ramjin tela girju gyab go mareze girju chini girju gyab morgozi nini kosu teni ramjin tela teni tektok she morgo gansho tektok she morgozi teni koran kandi yena yembate hakoni 티 냠스뇽 고거레 마토바 가서 너 네요나 다테 코랑 닌드 테 르크먼도 코랑 초고근도 삼반다오다 초고요나 초근도 단르크먼도 코랑 네 고근도 삼바 딘디 고고 말에 강이나 테 하고나 덴드거레 텔라 르파제 그래.
And it's the same with resting too. It's our minds simply observe the natural state or the state that our mind is in, and if it's in a state of resting, then we simply are aware of this. There is no need for us to change the state that we find our mind in or to interfere with its state in any way. Simply to experience and be aware that the mind of the state that the mind is in is what we are aiming for. So finding the mind in a state of rest, thinking that we should make it move, or discovering it in a state of movement, thinking that we should bring it to a state of rest, this is really not what we are doing. Whatever state the mind observes itself in, simply to rest in this awareness is what we refer to here as awareness or rikpa.
Tenim chowi kaps kandi hako go zena pe jana nga chon den di gum gyamni de yo pine komne ti khamba go na ne yar teni zge lao shu o zge z yar thong ne teni di na la ko yar ro ma ro teni pan ro son ro mambo zu she de na teni nga cho mu ge ring de ge yo de korang paran ro won de san ro won de samba de ri ge yenna teni te korang 저 파르만도 천조고지 저만도 yana 마른조고 되는 가서 때 콜라 girjugyapti zgagtini sholumtila girjugyapata thesokshebada tachanguma khorang parandonando sarandonando kantar ngarangso gomgyapni tini tammukutini khorang parandwa sarandwa tim thongdukyor yina parando macho sarandgo parandona digbore charyona yakbotin ri samlo chiyo marete khorang thongdena ndikore petinda bogore.
The state of being aware of the mind in a state of movement is similar to sitting in a room with the door open, looking ahead and noticing a mouse sneak in the door and dart across the front of the room and then dart across backwards in the same direction. In this situation, our eyes are observing the mouse, we see its movement back and forth. However, we don't seek to change what it is doing or to interfere in its path whatsoever. So although our eyes are seeing the mouse, we're aware that it is moving back and forth. We're not thinking, oh, it should go that way instead of this way. It should go this way instead of that way. Or going this way is not good. It's bad if it does this. We don't have any thoughts like this at all. We're simply aware that the mouse has come in, that it is moving back and forth. And yes.
Teni yang atso gomjapi ne kamna teni nipi ne kamna teni ta nipi ne kamna teni ta kandizirina teni yang zge chongchong de ko pandro chondro shi ni yang parjik chik shi ni yang tingon de la yone teni korang chikyang mungini dindi de na te atso korang teni ndung samba de sinan de ko yore ma to de kyondung yang ga mare dan ro go gre jana yang na dan ro nyang ga mare dan de go gre teni girjugyapgo marete korang dingdgona on dingdu sambanda wotini mukum thong dug patenti yore ma tok ba kyorang digna yakbore kyorang dona yakbo tendi samgo mar pe tenda bore nipi kapse yang tenda bo nepate sinan de yore.
And in observing the mind in a resting state, this is like sitting in the room and watching the mouse that has been scurrying back and forth finally come to a stop and sit perfectly still in the middle of the room. And in this situation, we are just simply aware that the mouse is now resting, that it is still. We don't seek to change it or transform what's happening. We don't seek to make it move or otherwise change what is taking place. We're simply aware that it is now resting.
Teni ndi thola khasang asang kongla teni gom japi ne kapna jani gom bi ne kapna thapsi mandawa ge teni sheyo teni gpo di ndi thola chama pesho tang chokore.
So yesterday in our teaching on Shamatha meditation, we mentioned the 9 methods for bringing the mind to rest, and it's possible to, or in this meditation that we're talking about, all of these 9 methods can be used.
Oya teni tal
the tapgubola peshistange yore tapgubonang ka
tapgubo chaman di thola pesho tang na chokore.
Oh, that's it.
Oya tatse sa so oya teni ta nga chu te gum jablik te tendi zire teni tendi shini gum jab dena tela gubakari orezena teni nga chu teni namjin teni sem kanala teni ta chu gawata yana teni sem kanala kyoada yana khongchoda teni mambo teni khong yar yong teni yang mar teni sem kanala teni thum teni mambo she dewa te teni nga chu partamo ta dena rig de gre teni rig de ti teni jima nga chu nyamnyong kang thawong gore jena ota ngarang ka sem ganare ngarang ka sem dignare chama khorang sem kanani yar yong ne teni yang mar sem kanala teni yang mar thum ro ndu khorang penam jamsogonani barlab yariyone yang jamsogonala martindi thamdongwa jamsogonani yariyone barlab hale pa chimbo tindi yone mambo khawa chak mambo ndone yang khona mar chinangla thamdongwa chinangla tham sarti yang cheri sari te chi jamba chi mandu 텐자보다 데나 드나 나와 탐치 텐지즈렌드 삼발라 니시 할레바 약부터 그래지 연rambo 냠님시 탑나.
So what is the function or the use or the benefit of this kind of meditation? Usually our minds, feelings or emotions of pleasure or suffering, of anger, through meditating in this way, it's possible for us to observe their arising from our mind and then their, after rising up, their disappearance back into our minds. So this process of rising and disappearing, or rising and dissolving. And this is something that through being aware of in our practice, in the future we can in the future we can bring to our understanding of how these appearances work in our mind. So just like a very big wave in the ocean, a huge wave that rises up several stories high, big enough to bigger than a large house. Even a wave this big ultimately crashes back down into the ocean. So observing the way that our minds work in this way in terms of thought activity and emotions, etc., it's possible for us over a extended or sustained period of practice to really generate a strong sense of confidence.
대스르 견득장나 가드그 나와 나서 랑심 레 샤르장 테니트 텀비 나티 랑기 시공 대시디 나와 탐시 셈기 라나도 멈추고스 어따티 값을 때니 가서 나와 가보쇼나 말가와쇼나 참아 때리 강인나다 나랑 그셈 것들이 남길 잠들 렌드 마토 바잠바치 문도 삼바티 하고 그래.
So by practicing in this mind, then we will be able to know that all of the very appearances that arise in the mind are simply manifestations of the mind. This is something that we will be able to know.
와야 되니 가서 락링크 토란 초아가 나라더니 다 간디시고 그래 제나스.
So many people ask, so how do we go about actually applying this in our everyday lives?
되니 초아가 나라가 참마 무수술한 잡은 잔자리 참마 깝깝스 심 가위 깝시오레 되니 깝깝스 심 마르가위 깝다 물기피 깝다 되니 공초 침볼랑위 깝다 되니 노파 차보숑위 깝다 되니 셈가 나란 게르와 나쪽바 용거요레 되니 가서 참마 찍바리.
So in terms of our lives, everyone is exactly the same. There are times when we feel happy, there are times when we feel unhappy, moments when we give rise to great anger or moments of extremely intense desire. Ultimately, changes of this kind, our mind changing all the time, is a situation that we all have in exactly the same way.
되니 가서 셈가 나라 마르키파 되니 쇼위 깝스 타페나 셈가 나라 공초라고 되니 쇼위 깝스 다 가서 남긴 가서 레칼레르티 간디즈레즈나 공초 쇼위 깝스 되니 양나 가서 공초티 춘준시 마트나 양나 가서 무잠발라 파르티니 시시 땅거레지 양나 다롱 델리장 드보쇼나 되니 무잠발라 되니 갸브리고 그래.
So in a situation such as anger, usually when we feel very angry, our first response, if we're unable to control it, is to speak harshly, to scold the person in question, or if we are even in a more intense situation, we might reach out and physically strike the person.
되니 노파 차보쇼네 되니 시 값스 되니 양나 가서 끝이 그래. 끝마죠. 양난 촉거래 되니 양나 홍모죠. 된진자면도 만보시 그래.
로무겹스나? 로무겹?
로무 타오판.
Oh. In a situation where we are overcome by a very strong desire, then we might steal things or rob others or beg for things.
되니 양 심마키 바디니 쇼네 되니 다제 공초단 도파 마임바 되니 무잠바즈 그 소소치르 제나 되니 심마키 바디니 쇼이 값스 되니 간디셰가 제나 되니 가서 창망분 통거래 되니 두자 그래 어야 되니 장통거리 두자거리 된진 담다 망보시거리 양 자마 망보자거리 되니 아주 된디시거리 남긴 가서 돌을때 된디지레.
Or at times when we experience unhappiness, general unhappiness, then often we drink alcohol, we take drugs, or eat a lot of food.
되니 양 대소라테니 양 아주 셈가나라 양 딜리장 맞게 반중거리.
However, by doing these things, our minds become even more unhappy than they were to start with.
되니 다 득보 지스 양 득보 지스 양 남바숑네 내가 저 되니 직족게 메바된지 렌도도.
And in this way, one unhappiness follows the other, and our unhappiness really becomes an endless cycle.
되니 다 아주 니 곰냠링 신근지나 간디시고 그래제나 되니 아주 셈가나라 맞게 바당 되니 딘디쇼나 셈가나라 되니 등머다 딘디쇼나 다 창동사 만조지 되니 뜨다 갈라자 대 마자지 자마망보양 마자지 되니 가리시고 그래제나 다 마르드니 곰테지 잡아도 못도 타고스.
For practitioners of meditation, what should we do in a situation where we experience unhappiness and suffering? Obviously, we shouldn't turn to drink or drugs or eat an excessive amount of food. The best thing to do is to sit down in this moment in meditation.
되니 티 값은 가서 말 굼잡니 소소 랑라더니 리포라 덕보 잡니 가서 인담만당 굼잡고 삼니 되니 삼나 티 값은 가서 셈그 가서라 가리제 그러지나 니 굼잡고 문 삼니 니 굼잡고 문 굼무잡 나랑가 인담만나 때라 파르티니 시시 땅고 나랑가 인담만나 때라 잡고 삼니 되니 가서 셈그 랑라 때제 그러지.
So if in this moment of unhappiness or suffering we decide that we want to act in our body's best interests and sit down in meditation, what is our mind likely to say to us? It is likely to say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to meditate.
Do
you think that this is how it often is?
Yeah. It is.
Everyone's like this, so am I. And this thought that arises in our mind telling us that we don't want to meditate is something that we need to fight against, we need to struggle with. And in terms of the victor in this struggle, it has to be ourselves.
되니 탐이 잘가다가 소더니 렌저나 되니 코 탕당보 탕이바 탕선바 대소라 그런 것들이 제거래다 갈리갈리 되니 그런 것들이 제어 말해 당린진도 그래.
And in terms of this struggle against our mind, the first time, the second time, the third time, the mind will still continue to struggle will still continue to say that it doesn't want to meditate, but through continuing in our process of struggle, finally the mind will come to accept our preference.
배낭아초라 공초랑이 값스 되니 시험당냥지 곰나 되니 공초대 매바창조와 아초 점승 것통에 르비종르 것통에 시겨래 되니 시험당냥지의 강지 곰고티 곰설때서 탐쳐보양 아초 창마 차창스 시겨래 레티티 값스 되니 아초 짜와니 시험냥지 곰도고요 말 되니 곰곰은 나 인담다 공초랑고 삼니 되니 삼고요.
So for example, when we experience anger, we know very well in theory that by doing compassion meditation at this moment will bring us benefit and will enable us to calm down our feelings of anger. Even though we know this in theory and we have a complete knowledge of how to go about practicing compassion meditation, nevertheless, when we feel this anger, our minds tell us, I don't want to practice this meditation, I don't want to practice compassion, I want to feel angry.
되니 코랑 그 또식 띠띠값사 할리바가 또식 침보래죠. 코랑 할리바 또식 침보래. 코랑 그 또식 띠페 나랑보치식 그 또식다 보여래지 띠값사.
And the power of our mind at this point, the power of our angry minds is extremely strong as an elephant.
되니 가서 타카타커 콜라더니 다 란시나 탑고 말이지. 가서 톱띠 코랑 그 따와닌 잔 탑고 말에 코랑 할리바 또치 보여래.
And when our minds are in this state of extreme strength or power, it's not possible for us to directly bring it under control.
덴디인데 가서 랑보치 딘디 쳔보즈 그때니 깨라 탁바 잡니 딘니 탱고나 사와네 가서 무스치근 텐탑고 말해.
And if we were to try to put a rope around the neck of the elephant and bring it under control, one person alone would not be able to achieve this.
더니 간디고 그러지나 나마 그때니 자거 금마다 서고더니 짝지니 짝근디 그그저 더 랑보치가 나라 존인 존나 대가랑 조 칸양 그래.
So what do we need to do in this situation? Well, in ancient India, people would place a metal hook or ring in the nose or the trunk of the elephant, and only by using this were they able to pull it along.
덴디인디 과랑 좀 말랑 위네끔 나가서 갈래 티 짝지도 잠바당 시우진지 잠바 시우진 거 갈래 곰잡네 소나테니 그런 거 도식디 제총 로운도.
So we can liken this iron ring that is placed in the trunk of the elephant to mindfulness and awareness, and this needs to be slowly inserted into the trunk of the elephant in a time when it is not angry.
야, 대인디 되니 다 마음 반응 아주 상마가 던디시 고제 아주 샘 멋지 비네급나 되니 창통산 조냥 그 말해진 코랑 로 인세 그랬다 이나 되니 조냥 그 말에 코랑란 탑수지고 그래 되니 더 양때 샘 멋지 비네급나 코랑 그 자마자고 코랑 자마만 뭐 포 또고요 말다 이나 코랑 그 자르고 제니 되니 제 그래 자마잡징양 그 말에 양티니 코랑 샘 멋지 메네 코랑 충칸가 나란 조니 잘랑만 보뇨고 코랑 그 제용 그래 이나 티네 급나 코랑란 탑수시니 티니 대서 창마 티니 시 직년 그 말에.
So in the future, everyone needs to do this themselves in times when we feel unhappy, and our minds tell us that they want to drink alcohol. We need to struggle against this. Or if we're feeling unhappy and our minds tell us that they want to eat a lot of food even though we're not hungry, then we should not accept this. Or similarly, if our minds tell us that they want to go shopping and buy a whole lot of things, then we should also not accept this.
야나 코랑 그 쪽보즈라 카버즈 땅네 되니 더 갑다즈시고 삼용 거지 있나요? 양 쪽보 약보즈 마이나 쪽보 득보즈라 갑다시나 양테 셈처데 지친도 그래.
Or in this situation, to call up a friend and to tell them all of one's woes. If the person you call up isn't a good friend, that it's possible that your woes will only increase by doing this.
되니 대소 창마 탑시 말해지 탑시 약슈고 마데더니 아주 된디가 세마케 받았던지 용에 겁나 대저 문망보 매받던지 늑사 대저 요메요 따니 된디가 늑사서 어럭마락 따니 되니 말 늑니 되니 아주 남쪽 라따야 돼 탑시 약슈디 되리.
So none of these are really solutions to our unhappiness. What we should do when we feel ourselves when we experience unhappiness or suffering is see whether we can go to a place where there are not too many others around, a quiet place, and sit down in meditation and bring our minds to rest and look directly at our minds.
되니 띠값은 아주 당분이 잡지게 보여고 그래 가서 다 나랑 그 심티 그런 거 자마자고 그런 총광나란 돌고 쪽볼라 카퍼 잡고 되니 때 그런 된지 제그 창통산 돌고 된지 제그 제다 그 된지 제용 거리다 니 인담만다 때그 된지 동금은 인담만다 그런 거 칼라 년금은 인담만다 그런라 탑수시고 인담만다 콜이 나랑 겨고 삼비디니 잡직도 당분이 요고 그래.
But it's important that we first have that we're mentally prepared. That is, that we know in advance that our minds will tell us they want to call up our friends, they want to drink alcohol, they want to eat food, they want to go shopping. We need to be aware that this is what our minds are going to be telling us, but determine, resolve that we won't let our minds make us do these things, that we won't listen to our minds, that we will struggle against them, and that we will achieve victory over them.
되니 말 능니 되니 더 답변나가서 심되니 겪으면은 나랑 그 심마키비 남쪽도 간디 용건도 삼네 되니 따나 되니 심마키비 남쪽도 당보 용 되니 심나라 머켜밥 조 Teni tendrishe gare tarung montani tes tatabna teni korang marmar teni semganala partamne teni me par changdo gare.
And by sitting down in meditation and looking at our minds when we're feeling unhappy, we will see that unhappy thoughts arise, and they will continue to arise for some time, but by continuing to be aware of them, they will begin to dissolve, they will begin to disappear.
Teni ngasola tindi toni yarka korma chi korma ni tindi top songna teni ngaso semganala hwadang yung gare zishin hwadang yung ne ta sem makipa yungna yakbore te ngarang ka jongdrshi na korkab yakbondo ngarang sem makipa yungna ga samni tindi sambat yung gare.
And by achieving victory in this way one or two times, then we will start to increase in our confidence and will begin to see times when we feel unhappy as opportunities to train our minds, such that we begin to even prefer times when we're feeling unhappy than moments when we're feeling happy.
Teni ti kapsa teni ngaso namgin inna teni ngaso kumchokla teni soran devni lama kumchoksum la soran devni da mimang bogo ngarang la sim marki padang ngarang la shawa lamju teni mayong wa tetsunga mepa teni ngala shinlup teni nangro chi ngarang la sim kepodang ngarang la sim demo yong wa shawa lamju yong wa teni teni shinlup nangro chi ne ngaso namgin teni sondim da shina teni shega reze namgin.
Usually our habit is when we feel unhappy or in a time of not so good luck, our habit is to go before the Buddha and to pray that the Buddha bless us to eliminate our unhappiness and our suffering and bad luck and to bring about our happiness and good fortune. We pray to the Buddha in this way. This is how we tend to be accustomed to acting.
Teni ti kapsa ngaso sondip jambazrizi nandun jambarizi ti kapsa ngaso sonde teni komchoksum la soradamni ngarang la sim marki pada ngarang la shawa lamdu me pada teni ngarang la nunshik tang simterda teni ngala tangro chi izeni teni sondip she garezi teni ngala tangna ngarang te tela teni jondurshi thap gare o nga teni tangro chi ize 다른 때니 추중다 좀 초반번 근도서 추중람 초반번 소르칸도니 나랑라 샤발람도 마용와 nga 심먹기 빠든지 땅로 지지니 된디제 그러지 디캅스.
What we in fact need to do is make a different kind of prayer or a different kind of supplication to the Buddha, and that is one where we pray to the Buddha that unhappiness and bad luck, pressure, worry, bad fortune, in fact be brought upon us. We pray that the Buddha may bless us by bringing upon all of this ill fortune, and in so doing, give us an opportunity to train our minds. So we pray to the Buddhas, we pray to the protectors that they may rain down unhappiness and bad luck on us.
오야 인나 디캅스 ngachola mangji tetio gore matokba mangji chichimena nga tini te semaki patangro chizena tani sana marki payona halipa khaboris.
However, it's necessary that we have some foundation in our practice before we make this kind of prayer.
Tani dikhapsa nga semaki pa matangro chizeninde zegrezi dikhapsa.
So when we just start out, it's okay if we make a prayer that unhappiness and bad luck is not rained down upon us, because it might be a bit difficult if it is.
Tadi ngaso yang namjin perda ngaso 저 천자다 산자다 양띠 샹다 디소 가시 la yang teni ngaso perdan denlang 하요리 denlang 집다요리 teni 제초요리 teni 샹디 전 teni 치 teni 디소 teni mar mebashi teni shina teni namkhani tok japjinrada teni jamda lungchimbo yongje teni jamda mambo yongji yorezi namjini nam chama tela zabzab shegezi teni dindi nyamni yakbo shine teze teni padang yongkintoso koso chitn joni teni shangte dio na mar jet teni sako manin sateso ku teni chi teni yang ku manin sateso tama kuni teni ta tok jamna japshok ta yakbore teni lung ina la yik teni kandi shi ji na she shok zeni teni shi ne teni koso nyamlin she gre tela chut ze gre chut. So
in Tibet there is a belief that in water, bodies of water, and in the earth, as well as in trees, that spirits reside, and that the spirits are capable of punishing humans if they are not treated in the right way. And so for this reason, people are usually extremely cautious in the way that they treat these natural formations, or the way that they treat the natural world. However, those who feel confident in their practice often go out and deliberately cut down trees and dig places in the earth that they're not meant to dig in order to invoke the punishment of the spirits, such as lightning and strong winds, etc., as a practice opportunity. And this kind of practice is referred to as ju.
딘디급 샤와 삽신이거나 수술용挑战라 수술용 침부시거나 However,
to really be able to work with these extremely large challenges, it's necessary that we first have a realization of emptiness. Doing so simply on a foundation of shamatha is not sufficient. This approach is referred to as self-challenging. And in fact, the basic principle of Buddhism is that the object that one seeks to achieve victory in respect of is not someone external to oneself, but one's own self precisely.
Tini murjan lan tabni jarkalin kentaso ngaso mroa mi lorgi gitala jartung chumbum yoreze yena tong ngobu toni ngune tani murchila jarkatobya mare.
In the course of human history, fights that have been waged in respect of external enemies have been countless and endless. And we can say that, in fact, despite all of these struggles against external enemies, there has been really not even one victory.
Deni ranglan tabni deni jarkatop sona ranglan tapsupsini jarkatop sona deni jarkatopa nguma tere pena sanje shakjata patavanda wores.
However, in terms of those who struggled or battled against themselves and achieved real victory, there have been figures such as the Buddha.
Oya tini ta ngaran tsu terang ga ngato tini chatata tini jugzokson tamjo zombanya tone ni de jana anje igana je wano do bai tubin dole do azo Name Judy Wala Jodi Sadaram Ye and Rabbi Lord Jung